Hey guys, so today's video I'm going to be talking about overthinking. Now, I'm not talking about how to stop overthinking. I'm more so telling you guys what I learned from being an overthinker myself. Because I still do overthink sometimes, but it's not as much as I used to. And yeah, let's just get into the video. Number one, people pleasing. I used to be a big people pleaser to the point where I wasn't always being authentic or being myself. Now, an example would be I would meet someone new and we would get along, and I would just try everything in my power to say the right thing, always be nice. And it was really draining. Like, I was never truly authentic, giving them my true self to the point where I was like overly nice. Like, I was trying so hard to have an image of myself where people would think that I'm cool, nothing's wrong with me. I would never say anything mean or like make any mean kind of jokes. And it was really draining. Like, when I wasn't truly being myself, it just wasn't working out for me. Because then at that point, it was like people saw me as like the nice guy. Like, oh yeah, this guy would never hurt anybody. Oh my God, he's so sweet. And man, I hated that. I hated hearing that from people too. So even now, well, it's not, I don't do it as much now. I'm not like overly nice as much. But I used to be super nice to the point where it's like when people would make like a joke about me, like some mean joke, but like it was in like a playful way. Like, I didn't take any offense to it, but I would kind of just, I don't know. I would kind of just like brush it off or like say something that was just nice. If that makes sense, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say anything back. Like, if I didn't say anything back, people, or if I did say something back, people would say, "Oh, I didn't expect that from him," or something like that. And that's when I realized, man, I gotta start being my true self. I gotta start being my true self, where people would think I'm like too nice or overly nice to the point where, man, I wouldn't even hurt a fly. But another example would be of like a big people pleasing thing I would do is when I had a crush on somebody. Whenever I had a crush on somebody, I would like make sure I'm saying all the right things towards them so that, you know, they would maybe catch feelings for me. But that's just not how it works. Like, it has to be mutual. People have to like you and for their own reasons. Girls aren't gonna like you just because you're being nice to them. That's just not how it works. So that was a big learning lesson for me. And it would upset me when they didn't like me back, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, people pleasing. People pleasing is probably one of my biggest ones. And now, I wouldn't say I'm as much of a people pleaser now, but I do have some tendencies. Now, let's get into the next thing. Reading people. If it's one thing that has messed up my mental health a lot, or has caused me to overthink a lot, is my ability to read people. When I'm having a conversation with somebody, I can tell when they're genuinely interested in me, when they're genuinely interested in me or not. Just by the way they're looking at me, their what's the word? Their body language, just by their eyes, I can tell if somebody is genuinely rocking with me or not, or paying attention to what I'm saying. And man, I would think about that a lot. Like if people were looking at me a certain way when I was talking, or they wouldn't really pay attention to me when I was talking to them, I would really like think about that a lot. Like, man, why aren't they reciprocating the same energy when I'm giving them they're giving them the when I'm giving them the undivided attention when they're talking. And man, that used to like drive me insane. Like I can tell when people genuinely like me or not, just by how they look at me and a conversation I have with them. If they're really rocking with me, I'll definitely hear from them more. And when they're not, obviously not. But I can tell when people are like really like me or not. And that has just led me to some depressive episodes. Like I can just see right through people sometimes, and I can really tell. I really can't tell, even though they may think I can't tell. And going back to being a people pleaser and being nice, people don't think that I know what's going on sometimes, and I can tell that they think that just by how they approach me. Because sometimes they can come off a little aggressive or try to get me to do something, but I'm not gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you step on me just because I'm nice. All right. So, yeah, reading people, I can tell when you genuinely rock with me or not. And some people can't do that, but for me, I can. And it makes me picky choosy of who I want to be around. All right, now the next thing, spending time alone. Now, I've said this before in like previous videos. I spend a lot of time alone, and hey, I'm an introvert. I love spending my time alone, but I often find it that when I'm spending too much time alone, my thoughts just drive me insane. And I have to remind myself that they are just thoughts. I spend so much time alone, and I do love it, but man, if I'm not in control of my thoughts, I'll literally drive myself insane. Like and at times it feels like I'm all I have, because people aren't always texting me, calling me, or checking up on me. And that's the reason why I would get kind of sad or be depressed. And when you're alone, you have to rely on yourself sometimes. When you spend a lot of time alone, you really have to rely on yourself, and you have to remind yourself that you are okay. And you have to make time for the people in your life too. You can't always just shut people off, not talk to them, not text them. Even if they don't text you or call them, even if they don't text you or call you as much as you do to them, it's still important to check up on the people in your life. And I think we often forget that people have their own life to live too. It's not always on purpose that people aren't texting or calling you. But you have to understand that you do have important people in your life. And you know that, and I've also learned that, man, when I was thinking that all these people didn't really care about me because I would spend so much time alone, it was all in my head. It was mostly because, going back to saying that they weren't always checking up on me. But, when I was linking up with my friends or whatever, it was like nothing ever happened. Like it was saying it was all good. Hey, how you doing? How you been? Right? And, people got their own things going on, so it's gonna get pretty quiet at times. But just checking in, tapping in with your peoples every now and then, it doesn't hurt to do so. Even if you like being alone, doesn't mean you need to shut off everybody. Yeah. Now, one of my last things, your thoughts. Your thoughts can make or break you. And sometimes we allow our thoughts to overcome us and put us in these deep, depressive episodes. But we gotta realize they're just thoughts and nothing else. Oh, he doesn't like me because he made that face. You're thinking about that over and over and over again. How do you know that unless you address it? It was all in your head. How do you know that? How do you know that? And I can relate to this a lot because this was last year. Like, overthinking used to just kill me. There was a moment where I was saying hi to someone that I didn't see in a while. I was saying what's up. I was moving into my new apartment from last year. And one of the friends that I made from like months prior, before moving in, I saw him again in like the same building where I was living at the time. I was like, hey, what's up, how you doing? And he just gave like this nonchalant type of response. He was just like, what's up? And I was like, what? Like, I haven't seen you in a while and you just gave me the most dullest reaction to seeing me. And that affected me for like a week. And it really upsetted me, and I was just in my head about it like every day, the point where it was actually like pissing me off and it was making me mad. But it really was all in my head because I don't know what was going on with him. He might have had a bad day. Or something was going on in his life. So it was my fault for even thinking that. And like months later, we even like shared classes and we were kicking it. We were cool. We were always talking to each other. So that's how I know I was in my head about it. But yeah, just we let our thoughts control us sometimes. And I would say when we let our thoughts control us too much, it can really put us in these deep depressive episodes. And we have to understand that they are just thoughts and nothing more. These thoughts aren't real, they're in your head. Why are you thinking so negatively about this situation? How do you know that Tommy hates you? How do you know that? Did he tell you that himself? That's why it's important to also confront those thoughts too. Confront whatever is driving you like insane, is driving you crazy and making you upset. Confront the person. Talk to them. 9 times out of the 10, it was all in your head and it was just a whole big misunderstanding. And a lot of the time when we take these negative thoughts and ingrain it in our heads, it's like we can't get anything done either. It just messes up the whole flow of your day, and it takes away our time too. It takes away from our main priorities in life. And we gotta understand that also, that though our thoughts aren't real and that our thoughts can have a negative impact on us, they can also have a positive impact on you if you start thinking positively and you really start envisioning and imagining things that are positive. I'm finding that out right now, that when I'm thinking a lot about things like my future, my goals, things that are gonna drive me to become better, I'm always in a better mood because of it. Your thoughts can make or break you, man. Sometimes it's how do you respond to those thoughts, and are you gonna let it control you, or are you gonna let it impact you in a positive way? Now, my last and final thing is God. God has been helping me through this. He's been helping me reach my goals ever since last year. Last year I started to take him a little more serious. This year I'm taking him a lot more serious. God has helped me in a way that I can't even imagine. I want to build a stronger relationship with him, and I'm still learning about him. I am Christian, but I didn't really grow up in a strong Christian household. Like we didn't go to church every Sunday, but we'll go to like church on Easter every now and then, but we didn't go every Sunday. And I would see on like TikTok and whatnot about like getting closer with God, what he can do for you. And I decided, you know what, I want to learn more about God. And I do want to build a closer relationship with him. So I started reading this Bible that were at my parents'. I took it from my dad, and I've been reading it. I've been studying. I've been learning, and I'm still learning. And it's just been an overall great experience, man. I don't go to church, but I'll probably figure something out, because I don't know, my schedule is just all over the place. I'm definitely gonna try going to church more, but man, I've been ensuring that I pray every night, and man, it's helped me a lot. It really has. I feel his presence. I know he's helping me through my journey with this YouTube channel, and it's just been great, man. having him in my life, getting to know him, learning more about him. He's part of the reason why I don't overthink as much, because I know everything is okay when he's by my side, and I know he will make things better for me in my situation. So yeah, that is it. That's the video. Yeah, guys, if you are overthinking, I'm not gonna tell you to stop overthinking now, but there are ways that you can combat it, and the main premise is that they are just thoughts. They are just thoughts and nothing more. It's all in your head. It's all in your head, man. All in your head. So hopefully I've helped you guys in some way. But yeah, that's it for the video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more. Turn on those notifications. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.